I've been able to generate over 50 off-market real estate leads per day for my real estate business for the past 5 years straight. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that yourself. First off, thank you. Second off, as we head into 2024, I'm doing a lot of kind of reflective episodes of what I think people can adopt to become the best entrepreneur they can in 2024. And so I want to talk about a couple of frameworks that I've seen pay off tremendously for myself and people I work with when it comes to growing a business, any business, but especially a real estate business, especially at scale. And the first one, and a very important one, is understanding that as a real estate investor, you have to think of marketing as an investment, not an expense. I can't tell you how important it is to adopt that framework. And every other business, marketers think of ROAS, right? Return on ad spend. I spend $5 to get $25 back. That's a 5x return on ad spend. I spend $50 to get $250,000 back. That's a 5x return on ad spend. In a real estate, you're typically going to get a 3 to 6x return on ad spend based on the magnitude of marketing dollars you're spending, right? And I'll give you an example of why ROAS can be calculated different at different levels. Because let's say I'm a real estate investor and during a year let's say I spend $250,000 in marketing throughout the whole year, do $1.5 million in revenue, right? So I netted gross margin is about 1.2 million on that almost $300,000 I spent in marketing. So the delta there is 1.2. So the revenue on my marketing dollars, my return on marketing is about 5x. Okay, let's say then though I want to scale and now I spend $700,000 in revenue, and that brings me $3 million in revenue. So now I am only at a 2.5x instead of a 5x, but now I'm making $2.3 million in gross margin instead of 1.2. So as you get bigger and bigger, your ROAS will contract, but your return on your marketing spend in terms of like dollars will be larger. And that is great. That's something you want to see as you grow. So as you grow your company, your ROAS is going to come down naturally. Right? If you spend $100,000 marketing versus $10,000, your ROAS at $10,000 will probably be higher because the 60 grand collected on $10,000 in marketing spends is 6x ROAS. But if you spend 50 to get to 150, that's a 3x ROAS, but you have more profit, 100 grand instead of 50 grand. Scale means profit in my opinion. That's the first mental frame I need you guys to adopt going into the new year, is understanding that marketing is an investment, not an expense. If you can make that mindset switch going into the new year, you'll have more leads, you will do more deals, you'll make more money. That's just the reality of it. You have to market. You have to have a paid client acquisition channel if you want to consistent and you want to grow a business. If you're listening to this and you're a realtor and you want to grow a team as a realtor, it's very hard to grow a team as a realtor with just organic referral leads. You need other ways to bring leads in, whatever that looks like for you, because people on your team are going to want consistent opportunities. That's just the reality of this business. That's the name of the game. So that's mental frame number one. Mental frame number two is volume. It's understanding volume. And what that means is people underestimate the volume it takes. The volume it takes of leads, the volume it takes of conversations, the volume it takes of offers, the volume it takes of negotiating, the volume it takes of failing to get there where they want to go. I own a call center. In one of our books of business, we do lead generation for real estate investors. And what I've seen is tons of people who sign up with our product and service and they think that they're going to one call close everyone. Are they going to follow up once a week? People underestimate the volume it takes of activity to get paid. And you guys don't understand, like the fact that you can market to off-market sellers and do a $30,000 to $50,000 sign-up fee in 60 days is insane. It's insane. It's an insane amount of money, and it's a insane liquidity event. It should be hard. There should be a barrier to entry. And the main barrier to entry isn't really information-based, it's more volume-based. So if you can understand the volume of reps it takes to get good, the amount of failure it takes to get good, the amount of offers you need to make, conversations you need to have, that's what matters, understanding volume. So really, really shift your frame going into 2024 of understanding freaking volume and putting things out into the world, putting activity, putting action, putting work, putting product out into the world over and over and over and over again. It takes more volume than you think, 100%. You go ask any guy that you look up to on Instagram who seems like they're crushing it, ask them what their journey looked like. They're going to tell you about so many business partnerships, business opportunities, ideas, failures, money lost, lawsuits. They're going to tell you a list of L's where they learned from each L, and that led to where they are now but they had enough volume to learn. Okay. So that ROAS, focus on ROAS as an investment, and then focus on understanding in the new year the amount of volume it takes to be successful in anything, but especially in this business. Okay. Number three, and one of my mental frames is Being busy is awesome, but you need to be cautious of what you're busy on. What are you busy about? And so really the mental frame 3, I'll kind of summarize it as busyness does not equal productivity. It does not. I can't tell you how many realtors and investors I work with that go to coffee shops, they do phone calls, they sit on Facebook groups, they go to masterminds, they join coaching groups. All good activity, but the reality is 4 hours a day of focused work on something that actually moves the needle for your business is much more valuable than 10 hours a day sitting at your desk on Instagram. Like when I come into the office, I have a pre-written out purpose in the office. I don't come into my office to think. I don't come into my office to theorize. I come in my office to execute. I'm either filming videos, I'm training my team, I'm doing coaching calls, or I'm sitting down and crafting a project that I've predetermined myself to work on. Okay, I'm not thinking, I'm not strategizing, I'm not sitting here on social media. That's not what entrepreneurs at scale who are very productive do. Because you look at companies like Apple, you think freaking Tim Cook is wearing 10 hats. No, Tim Cook is making good decisions. And as you scale, you'll do less and less busy work. So number 3 is really understanding like what you spend your time on is much more important than how much time you spend. Okay, so another way to think about this is really understanding like the domino effect of high leverage work. I want you guys to focus in 2024 on doing activities that you do once but compound forever. An example of that. If you are a real estate broker and you are showing 20 houses a week for your buyers, that's awesome. You're spending time on something that makes money. But wouldn't it be more valuable to train a buyer's agent on everything you know, document everything in your head, create SOPs, create a training, and then train a buyer's agent one time that can go do all those showings for you? Yeah, you pay them 10, 20% of the deal, but that's called a business. People are so obsessed with profit margin, not understanding that big businesses, the reason their profit margins shrink is because to get scale in any business, you need margin to get scale. You need people, you need systems, you need processes, you need software. So profit margin is not the flex that people think it is most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And so really digesting that what you work on, you want to compound over time. If I work on a project or video, like this video right here that you guys are watching, the reality is, you guys, I record this one time. People can watch this forever on my YouTube, on my podcast. It brings in leads. It brings in credibility for me. And that's leverage. I record it one time for 20 to 30 minutes in my office and it exists forever. The projects I work on, the trainings, the resources, the tools, the hires I make one good hire. That hire compounds on what they do day in and day out for our company. And so thinking about your work as leverage. The next thing, you guys, after 3, which is understanding busyness is not productivity, is making informed decisions, not uneducated guesses. So many of us think we're making educated guesses on what we should do next in our business. We think we have an educated guess on what marketing channel we do next because we heard it online. We think we know who to hire next because we heard it online. The reality is you need to listen to the data of your company to make decisions. Good business owners do not rely on their gut or rely on something they saw online to make the next decision for their business. They rely on the numbers. And so you need to go from making uneducated guesses to making informed decisions on your business in 2024, which means you need really, really, really good data, financial data and KPI data for your company. Make informed decisions. Don't sit there and make uneducated guesses. It doesn't serve you, doesn't serve your employees, doesn't serve your clients, doesn't serve anyone in your business. Fifth and final, and probably my favorite, is making a mental frame of everything is your fault. Everything that happens in your business is your fault. It's because of a system, a process, a hire. It ultimately was a decision that you made that compounded into a result you didn't want. And so focusing your efforts in 2024 on realizing that everything that happens in your business is your fault and taking accountability and then executing on whatever it is that's going to fix that. So that one's a little simpler, but I really want you guys to focus on these things moving into 2024. And if you do, these are 5 mental frames that'll change the game for you. So thanks for sticking around with another episode of the Off Market Operator podcast. I really try to make these actionable and tangible, and December is normally a month of reflection for me. So a lot of these episodes this month are pretty reflective on when I think about theorizing and wanting to get out to the world moving into the new year. So without further ado, guys, a like, a share, a testimonial, a review means the absolute world to me on the show and growing this in the new year. We're not going anywhere. We're in the 60s when it comes to episodes. My goal for the first year is 50, so we crushed our episode goal for the first year. We've had tremendous growth. I think we're pushing close to 100,000 downloads on the show now, and have had great guest speakers and really exciting things to come in 2024. So again, if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here for a while, thanks for continuing along the ride. I hope I've helped you build your business and theorize and understand what needs to happen next in your company. And as always, you are only one deal away.